Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Want to make sure that you can hear me okay. We'll get started here in just a minute. Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be getting started here in just a couple of minutes. Hello, and welcome, Jason. Welcome, Paige. Uh, Perfect. Okay, having some issues with the audio. Jason, you are on the call with Brendan talking about some of the new features coming. That is fantastic. Awesome. Okay, well, looks like music might be out of the question today. We usually give it just 5 minutes to let everybody roll in. We're going to do that in just a moment. Before we do, would love to start today's session with a general question here. And that question is, how many Vendasta or how many businesses are you adding to your Vendasta account on a daily basis? Or not a daily basis, let's do a monthly basis. How many accounts are you adding on a monthly basis? Are you adding 0 to 2, 2 to 5? I know lots of you are new here. Just curious, how many businesses are you adding actively to your CRM every day? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so Paige, you added 6,000 businesses to your account. Fantastic. How'd you find that 6,000? Because that's a lot of businesses. Um, and you're new. Would love to know how you acquired those businesses. Did you add them to the account through a CSV file? Did you buy a list? How did that look like? Because it's interesting. Normally, we find that partners haven't added a lot at this point. For those of you who are just getting here, welcome to today's session. My question to you is, how many accounts are you adding on a monthly basis to your own Vendasta account? How many businesses are you adding to your CRM? Let us know in the chat. Okay. Welcome to today's session, everybody. Paige, Tina, Stefan, Ernie, Zavia, Will, Ruben. Awesome. The question is, how many accounts are you adding, or how many businesses are you adding to your Vendasta account every single day? We used to call them accounts. So today's session is all about finding the clients that you want to work with, right? So if you have a vertical in mind, if you know the types of clients you're going to go after, kind of the first step. And I hope you've all made that decision so far. In fact, let me know, what are the types of clients that you're looking to work with in the chat? Is it restaurants? Is it uh, dental practices? Is it home services? Let me know in the chat what you're planning to work with. And today's session is all about finding the different verticals that you want to serve. So the session isn't really about soul searching and figuring out the types of businesses that you're going for. Uh, that's really within your own business plan. And I think a lot of our partners have got that figured out. So at this point, trying to do is show you how to use the Vendasta system to find the different leads that you're looking to work with. So we got Jason looking for medical in Cairo. Awesome. That's great. Who else? Let us know in the chat. At this point, you know me, I'm Brady. I've helped so many partners use this system to add more accounts to their system. The reason I ask every single time that we do this session is because as a new agency, how many of you are newer? Right? Like we saw Ernie was new. We see that Jason was new. As a newer business, you don't have a ton of clients yet. It is mission critical to uh, really be finding leads, speaking to businesses. You are never going to have more time in your agency's lifespan than right now. You're newer, you're going to have time available to you. And so it's really important that you keep reaching out, finding businesses, having conversations, ultimately finding those leads and working them down because it's a numbers game. Now, I see a lot of common mistakes here with agencies where they focus on one or two businesses. There's not a lot of, and maybe they'll get that one or two businesses, but then they're kind of restarting everything. It's really important to continue working your list of leads, continue finding leads, uh, and building that out. And the first part of that really just starts with adding them to your system. Now, in today's session, I'm going to show you how to scale that up. So if you've been doing it a little bit, or if you've only added a couple of counts, I might actually show you how to double, triple the amount of counts that you have in your system. So I'm really excited to do that. If you have questions, please ask in the Q&A section to the side. And this session is mission critical to have some engagement. So I'm going to count on you. Yes, audience, you, to engage with me here because it is the make or break of this session. I'm also going to show you how powerful the system can be, and it will need your help. So, do I have everybody locked in today? Throw a 1 in the chat if I have you locked in. Ernie's ready. Paige is ready. Jason's ready. I want to see some ones in the chat. Let's get it going. I want to make sure you can find the chat. Sometimes uh, I see a thumbs up. I want to see a 1 in the chat. All right. We're gonna need that to use that chat box. Will, good. Ruben, awesome. You corrected yourself. I'll forgive you for this one. All right. Melanie, wonderful. Stefan, awesome. So, we're going to look at a couple of prospecting methods. The first one being the Vendasta Lead Finder. Now, the Vendasta Lead Finder is an incredible tool here that will help you find leads in really anywhere. It'll help you surface some pretty quick opportunities. And so there's a button in the system that helps you find more leads. And the great thing here is we work in digital marketing, right? There's opportunity that exists everywhere, truly everywhere. Any business you look at really has a couple of cracks that they could use filling in or ways to improve. Now, one of the things about the different leads that we're going to be working with is a lot of the problems exist in plain sight. We're very lucky here in the way that this sales cycle works. So instead of calling the business to qualify them or sell the value of what we're doing, we can see the problems in plain sight and then come in with a solution. And so that's a really powerful thing. Our system helps you do that better and at scale. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use the lead finder to go in and add a whole bunch of different businesses. And I will show you how to generate a targeted talk track for that list of potential leads. Okay, so we're going to jump into the platform right now, and I'm going to show you my trick here for the Vendasta Lead Finder. It is a fantastic tool. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen okay as I switch over into the Mountain Media account. I'm just separating my screens here. So, okay, can we see it? All right, wonderful, good. So here we are in the Mountain Media account. This is the Partner Center. We looked at this in quite a bit of detail on the Monday session. Now, we have a couple of different options. We're going to be working out of the CRM today and specifically in the companies tab. So here we have all the different companies that we have added. You'll see that we've added 16,906. You can see that we practice what we preach. It is important to add these different businesses. Now, of course, it's a test database, but a lot of these leads have been found through the lead finder. I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Now, before we do this, all right, so let me just take one step back. In the CRM section under companies, look towards the top right. You can create a single company. You can import a list of companies page. Sounds like what you did there. And then you can also find leads. We have this third option right here. If you click on this, it will take you to a very simple search bar. Now, this is where I need your interaction. I need everybody here to suggest a couple of different potential verticals. What are the sorts of businesses that just different businesses that you're looking to work with, or even just other suggestions? It could be gyms. It could be I think last time we did power washing companies. Let me know what you've got. Okay, Ruins with the barbershops. We got chiropractors, healthcare. Wonderful. Okay, barbershops, chiropractors, healthcare. Wonderful. Okay. Now, another question for you. I want some cities. So give me a list of cities here, just ones that you think, and we're going to use that list of cities to find this vertical in a city that I'm not aware of. And really quickly, I'm going to pull up something here. Okay. Wonderful. So we've got a couple of cities. Awesome. So what we're going to do here, okay, I've got a couple of different verticals here that we could choose. Looks like we are going to be looking up chiropractors, which is fantastic. Ah, Stefan, I just saw that you mentioned architect engineers as well. But here we are. Oh, you know what? We're doing it again. Let's not do it again. Well, now you know it's true. Okay. Then we had a couple of different cities here. So we're still going to do the chiropractors, and we're looking at this list of cities. I'm just going to take the chat that we had. That's a little complicated. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for suggesting the cities. I'm just going through, leading them. We're going to see where we are prospecting today. So just by using the system in front of us, I'm going to find you some chiropractic leads in looks like Canton, Georgia. All right, everybody. This will be a pretty good start. So when I'm looking at Canton, Georgia, I see that it's a smaller city. We're talking about 38 So this will be interesting. This will be the first take that we look. We're also going to look at another city here. So let me just give one more. And so we'll also take a look in Atlanta as well. All right, so we got two different cities here. We're going to start in Canton, Georgia. There's a couple of things to consider when we're looking at smaller cities and larger cities, which is what we're going to do. All right. I told you this would be interactive, so this is how we're going to start. Okay, everybody. So let's take a look at chiropractic in Canton, GA. So when I look up chiropractors in Canton, Georgia, I get a list of options. So all I do is I type chiropractors in Canton, Georgia, and it pulls up some options in Canton, but also the surrounding area. Now, again, Canton has a smaller population, so this is going to be a bit more diverse. When we look at the different chiropractors that we can find, we'll see that we've got some information getting pulled in here, but this, if we were to look up, if we were to look this up on Google, we were to look up chiropractors in Canton, Georgia, this is likely what we'd be seeing in terms of the orderings. So we would see, the first result being back in motion chiropractic, BT chiropractic being second, Georgia. You can go down the list and you'll see it's that way. And so you can see all the different businesses here, what's on the first page of Google, what's on the second page of Google. Uh, and I'm going to show you some tricks for the larger cities, but I like what we've got going here. So we already have 20 businesses. Now, for those of you who have added less than 20 businesses, if I hit the create companies button right now, I'll have done more. I'll have added more businesses than you may have. So this is how powerful the tool can be. You can go and quickly find leads. Now you can see the reviews. You can see the number of reviews. You can see the business information. You can see if they have a claimed Google business profile or a website. And all of these businesses do, except the William Paul Early, which is interesting. It's a chiropractor. It has an unclaimed Google business profile. You have a very easy opportunity spotted right there. Now, all right. So here we are. We've got all these different businesses, and that's great, but we still don't know a lot about these businesses, and you might not feel super comfortable adding them to your system. We're going to look at some of these businesses, and I'll show you how to find some opportunities. But any questions about this process so far? All right. I see no questions. Throw up a two in the chat if you're ready to move on. And I hope I'm coming across clearly. We've been having some issues over the past couple of days with the glitching happening over audio. Okay, great. I see twos. I'm going to assume you're hearing me. Let me know if there's anything funky with the voice, okay? Helping us rule out a couple of things. Now, awesome. Thanks, Jason. So we have this list of businesses. We could just add them, but if we just did this, we added a whole bunch of chiropractors, well, we still need to do a lot of research on them. Adding them to your system and adding the notes in the CRM, very powerful. But if you want to be really selective about the businesses you bring into your system, well, you're going to need something else. So this is how you find leads really quickly. But if you want to learn more about them, I've got this process. I call it the 2-minute prospecting check. This is how you can carefully evaluate, but quickly evaluate who you are bringing into your system. And so let's navigate back here to the leads that we found here in Canton, Georgia. Now, what I could do here is let's find a business here that looks like they could use some help. I mean, a lot of these could. So actually, let's just jump on one of these higher ones. So let's take a look at Affordable Chiropractic Canton. We see that there are 4.9 with 187 reviews. What's funny is that businesses like Riverstone Chiropractic are beating it out with only 20 reviews. And I don't think it's the difference between a 5 and a 4.9. So here is the business we're going to look for on the map. This is completely random. You guys chose the city, you guys chose the vertical. So let's take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find G on the map here. If I click on it, that looks like chiropractor to me. You can see that I could click and create a company, but there's also this little flyout option. See that? So this option right here, in one click, will actually take us over to their Google business profile. Navigating to the Google business profile, this is where we'll do the 2-minute prospecting check. First thing I always like to check out is the image indicative of what the business is? And yeah, that looks like a chiropractor to me. So that's awesome. Sometimes you'll see a couple of images here. I like to just go through and look at the first 3 images, and that checks out. Ooh, got hardwood. Nice. All right. So, just making sure I'm showing the right screen. Great. So there we are. We've got the images. That's good. So often you'll see a little bit of help needed here. If I scroll down, I'll see in the overview that there's no ability to book online. Like there's no button here, but I do see they have an option for booking. So let's take a quick look here. I'm going to click on affordablechiropractor.net. And so when it comes to scheduling an appointment, it takes me to the website. And this is not a great booking experience. So when we're looking at the booking experience, it's full name, email, cell phone number. They have a special offer, which is nice, but there's no actual booking into a calendar, making sure that the time is available. There's not even a time to select. Instead, you just leave your contact information and how they can help. I feel like this is a poor user experience. It doesn't feel like I'm actually booking into something. This is really just dropping my information to get a call back, to get some emails. And this page right here is going to lose potential clients. Now, if they don't have things like a web chat, they don't have booking directly into a calendar, if they don't have the ability to text message directly, we're going to be losing a lot of possible clientele. I think everybody knows that millennials and below are relatively afraid of speaking on the phones. And so this business is not going to be capturing this demographic. And so this is already a quick opportunity here. This is not what you would expect when you click on booking. If it was me, I would go out, choose another list, another business on the list that also looks good, and just go onto their online booking. So here's our first opportunity. We know that they can use some online booking. There's a website. We'll come back to that. I always like to scroll down and see the question and answer. So do you take x-rays before adjustments? How much for x-rays? So that was 5 months ago, unanswered. Now they sometimes answer their Q&As, but it looks like it takes some time. So they could use some help in managing their Google business profile or staying on top of it. We scroll down, we can see some reviews as well. What I'm going to do is actually navigate back to the top and click on the review section. Let me just zoom in on this a bit so we can see it a bit better. So, for the most part, we see some glowing reviews. The first thing that we see, though, is a 1-star review left 2 months ago. All right, before I go through and look at these reviews, let me show you what I do to quickly get an analysis on what's happening with the reviews. I actually use the sort function here on the Google Business profile, and I'm going to choose a couple of things. The first thing, I want to look at the newest. So we can see that last month, there were 2 reviews left. 2 months ago, there was 2 reviews left. And then there's been a break. It's been 6 months since their last review. So the last 5 reviews came in 8 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 1 month ago. This is a business that's probably not asking for reviews. So we know that they could use help with reputation management. Likely reputation management premium. They need to ask for more reviews and respond to these reviews. We can see they don't respond to the reviews. But the next thing I do, I sorted the newest, then I go to the lowest. And I always like to get a sense of if these 4 reviews are responded to. They are not. So that's not a best practice at all. They should be responding to these reviews. And in general, when we look at any of the reviews, there's no responses. Oh, there used to be. So every once in a while they'll respond, but they're not hitting everything. And so, uh, definitely a couple of quick opportunities here. What we have learned so far, they could probably use a little bit of help with their Google Business Profile optimization. We know that they could use some help with reputation management. We know that their booking is not working the way that I think is expected in today's economy, right? In this economy, you can't have a booking link. You need a booking link. And what's cool here is this business has multiple locations. Check it out. We're going to go to the website now. I'm going to click on it. And when I click on the website, I mean, this is writing itself. First thing, what I'm looking at is incredibly convoluted. You see that? So in the actual website link that took me to, it takes me to a 404 error. There was nothing on this page, and I can tell you why. They put the wrong link into the Google Business Profile. I shared it with you here. What do you see wrong about that link? I want to see if you guys see what I see, because I see it. Yeah. So okay. So Paige, you know what? I think that's actually a good point. So Paige sees that it says .net. .nets are totally fine. However, I do feel like .coms tend to be more reasonable and expected from a branding perspective. I think it's relatively small overall, but yes. Uh Now the affordable chiropractic missing an E. Okay. What I see there is GA dot slash. So South Canton GA dot slash. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the URL. I know you can't see this. I'm going to remove that period. I want to see what happens. Does it take me to the right page? It does. So I now have something I could take to them and say, like, this is just a simple fix, right? You could call as a good Samaritan and let them know that their Google business profile takes them to the wrong site and you know how to fix it. Love to have a meeting with you just to quickly discuss it. And hey, we could also look at your other marketing. Great. But this is the website it takes me to. Now, the cool thing here is you can see that it has 4 locations. So I'm going to bet you that there are 4 different locations here that need help with reputation management, Google business profile optimization, likely messaging, inbox. That's what we see so far. And who knows, maybe they also could use some help with uh, their Google business profile links, bookings, etc. This is a huge opportunity and arguably an easy one. This is a multi-location opportunity. You can see on the maps here what we are talking about. Okay. Oh, and I see that Canton is closer to Atlanta, Georgia than I expected. Interesting. I did not know it was so close. But we have 4 different locations here that probably suffer from the same problems. So I want you to multiply the marketing packages you could sell to this business by 4. Okay. So I promise you that if we were to go this at this speed that I normally go through it at, we would be in and out of this website within in and out of this process within 2 minutes. Now, Jason asks a good question. Do you charge for each location or can you create a group? Well, if you're on our premium plan with Vendasta, you have the ability to create something called a multi-location group, which allows you to look at a brand overall and do things like multi-location inbox. So if you have one head office that responds for all the locations, you could do that. If you have a place that responds for 2 locations, you can cluster them and group them up how you want. So if you think of a McDonald's, right? Some folks who own McDonald's, they own 23 locations. It would be awesome if they could log in and go and see the reputation management for their 23 locations, but it might not be relevant to have them see all the locations. And all those locations, they need reputation management. So they need the tool for that to work, but it all rolls up into a centralized dashboard and you can break it down how you want. So it's a really interesting approach. So you could do multi-location, or you could just have four different business apps that they can switch between. Or if they don't really reference each other, what you could do is you could have the owner with the head office view, the multi-location dashboard view, and every single location have their own business app instance that they're working out of. But it all rolls up into that multi-location dashboard. It's a pretty nifty thing. Uh, and it would be a perfect fit for something like this. At the same time, question was, do you charge for each location? Yes, you will charge for each location. There is a bit of an exception when it comes to the website. Well, one website seems to be doing it all. That's fine. You'd only have one website. Their social media might be doing it all as well. Davia says glitching. Is that true? Are you guys getting that? Okay. So it sounds like we are good to go on. Davia, if you still have issues, try refreshing. Let me know. Continue to let me know if you still hear the glitching, because maybe that happens for everyone after that. Okay. So uh this is actually this is actually some good web design right here. Just as a FYI. I do like they have a 404 error and it says, "Uh-oh, looks like we need an adjustment." That's hilarious. That is a great 404 error page. Okay. So you can see there's a lot of effort here, right? But when it comes to the multi-location bit, lots of different ways you can slice it up, but definitely multiple opportunities here. So we have found a really unique opportunity. And what I love about this one, let's go back into the list really quickly. This is the sixth best choice. It's the sixth option that you'll find. I'd argue you want to get into the top three, and you guys have the ability to provide solutions that will take them there. Okay. So, uh, that is our first one here. Okay. So I want to show you another one here. Uh, okay. So we've got these different businesses. So you see within 2 minutes, let's take a quick look here at Gentle Force Integrative Health, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this. Again, we're looking at just one small city. I click on Gentle Force Integrative Health. To me, that looks like a good image. I could tell it's chiropractic. So I'm just going to show you how I do this really quickly. Scroll down. I click on the booking link. And the booking link, whoa, what is this? It looks like the same form. Somebody is probably selling similar websites to these guys, because that is like one for one, the exact same form. That's interesting. Totally different website though. So what's going on there? Uh, you schedule an appointment. Okay, so they do have appointment scheduling that's a bit different, but again, it's just sending in a form. Same problem as the last site. So, whoever suggested that we look at this city, if you're in this city, wow, chiropractors here, they need your help. Uh, we could go to the website and evaluate it. I scroll down on the page. They are not. Oh, no, they are answering the Google Q&A. They just have nothing coming in. We scroll down some more, take a look, see the reviews. Okay, I'll click over to reviews. Let's sort it. We'll go lowest rating. Uh, they respond. They responded to the bad review, which is good. I would say they didn't follow a best practice there. When it comes to the reviews, they got one a day ago, one 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Looks like they must be doing some kind of reputation management. They've got in the last month, probably a good 5 or 6 reviews. This is a business that is on track to beat the last one we looked at in terms of reviews. So they're almost getting an edge. These guys are constantly getting reviews. They might still need help managing those reviews, asking for those reviews. I don't know how they're asking for it. So that's a conversation I would have. All right. So Here we go, right? Huge opportunities here. Their hours are very strange. Oh, it looks like they just indicate their lunch hour break. That's totally fine. Fine. Not as strange as I was making it out to seem. So interesting. We have two opportunities. You see how easy that is? I just went and found dental force and affordable chiropractic. We know that these are some fantastic opportunities. So I'm going to add those two businesses. Okay. We're going to do this one more time. So we also mentioned doing a barber. And I know we talked about doing something in Atlanta, but I'm actually going to change this up just because this is so close to Atlanta, anyways. All right. So looks like we're looking at Milwaukee. All right. So I want to try totally different category. Again, this cannot be made up here. Hey, everybody. I'm now on the big screen. I just closed out the wrong screen. Let me know if you can see it. So I'm going to go back to the lead finder. Let me show you again how you find that. When you're in your partner center, if you look on the left-hand side, you'll see lots of different options. When you click on CRM, you'll have a drop down and you can find the companies tab. Here, you can see the two different chiropractic businesses that we've added to our system and know are great opportunities. My recommendation to you is if you have these and you have a brief memory of what you saw, just go and write a quick note. So for this one, bad booking, just so you can jog your memory. Websites link from GBP leads to 404 page multi-location question mark. We saw needs review management. They likely need listings, of course, right? Probably listings. And so I know this is an ugly note, right? But at least it's taken some of the things that we were thinking of here, right? And with review management, not asking or responding. So we'll add that note. It's that easy to write a note. You should do this as you go because, hey, if you look up this business a couple of months from now, you're going to have to do that whole process again. So just keep some notes. All right. So we've done that already. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the find leads button again on the CRM company section. Okay. And this time we're going to look for barbershops in Milwaukee. Did we hear from Milwaukee, the person who suggested it, or was it just a random off the cuff suggestion? Okay, Ruben, yes, awesome. Seems like I might have to. Okay, so let's look up barbershops in Milwaukee. Okay, so Milwaukee is a larger city here. I want to show you a different strategy I have for these larger cities because I think it is relevant. Now, Milwaukee has a population of 560,000. Decent population, maybe more in the greater area. But this is a great example of the larger city that we're looking for. Okay. So uh, here's the thing. When we look this up, we're going to find all the barbershops that are the top 20. So if I literally looked up barbershops in Milwaukee and I'm not a local to the area because it's not taking in my location, this is what I'm seeing. Now, of course, if you're local, you'll see a more localized version of this, which we can simulate. And that's my other technique I want to show you. But I want to show you when we look up barbershops in Milwaukee, these guys need help. So, Ruben, if this is where you're from, I think that you've got a lot of opportunity here because as I scroll down on the page, check this out. We see missing websites and Google business profiles left, right, and center. This one is the fifth best option in the entire city. And we can't find a website here. We scroll down some more. Classics Barbershop, no website. And they look to be the 12th best option. Bless Barbershop, no Google business profile or website. Like, how are these guys getting any real estate on Google with nothing. It's just air. So this is tons of opportunity. Now, I have a law, a rule, something that helps get better results. Okay. So when we're looking at bigger city centers like this, right? Uh, what we can do is we can localize the searches. We can simulate being from a specific location. Okay. So the way that we're going to do that, we just look on the map for these different areas. So let's say we want to look for businesses around Jackson Park. I'm just going to go back up onto the search bar. Okay. The barbershops in Jackson Park. As I do that, it's going to cluster a lot more businesses around Jackson Park. So if I was in Jackson Park, Milwaukee, and I looked up barbershops, well, these are probably the options that would be presented to me. So when we look here, you're going to find even more missing websites, even more missing Google business profiles. Again, these businesses, they need some saving. So, uh, like the number two option doesn't have a website. How does number three not have a website? Uh, I'm frankly concerned, but here are some really quick opportunities. So without even clicking into it and doing my 2 minute prospecting check, we can find some problems. But I want to make sure that we can jump in and find some things that have legitimate opportunities and just to show you how powerful this method is. So again, let's do one last 2 minute prospecting check on the Barbers Company here. They're the fifth option on Google Business Profile. Look, I could go to the bottom here and, pick up these businesses that are on the second page of Google, but I want to show you that we can find opportunities on even these poorer performers. Okay. So we look at the Barbers Company. So they are letter E here. Take a quick look. We find it like dead center Jackson Park. And immediately we see from the picture, it's definitely a barbershop. That's great. Now we go here again, and I've got to say I'm a little confused at what this picture is. Oh, I guess these are just like covers for the seats, but definitely made me, take a second to look at it. So I was a little confused with this image, but when we're looking here, we've got 82 reviews, 4.5. Looks like they have their services. So, I think a lot of times people will click on this and see. Okay. So I'm just checking this out for you. Check this out. It just takes you to their Facebook page for their services. That makes no sense. So, okay, we've got an experience here that doesn't quite make a ton of sense. They have their website, no online booking straight. Oh, they do have a book online option. So it's ironic to me. They have their services that just takes you to a Facebook page, but they have an online booking. When I click book online, it takes me to a proper booking site. Uh, I'm kind of frozen out here. I was able to click away. This is exactly what I want though when I come to online booking. But overall, I would say the experience is a little bit slow. Not awful though. You could do this. So then it gets your information. So awesome. They've got online book. Scroll down a little bit more. See some photos that they've added. They look to be adding these every once in a while. We see no Q&A happening here for the business. And we see all the reviews coming in. Couple of 1-star reviews, couple of let's take a look. So then we'll go into the reviews. We sort newest. Pushed my lining back. Ooh. Kids cuts. Another. So again, what do? The first step is to count the reviews. This just gives you a really quick. So we got one 2 weeks ago, another 2 weeks ago. Okay, so 2 per month so far. Then a month ago, we had 2 reviews. And a month earlier, we had another review. And then the last review before was 5 months ago. And a lot of these are 1-star reviews. They're just getting gutted by these 1-star reviews. And look, barbers, they're going to run into this every once in a while, right? There's going to be people who are unhappy. And like, I think trying to work this, right? Like trying to get more reviews. So requesting more reviews will help flood this out with more of those 5 or 4 or 5 star, um, 4 or 5 star types of experiences that we would expect. Okay. So as you can see, we have a whole bunch of reviews that aren't responded to. We have a lot of reviews coming in. I always look for likes on these reviews. I don't see a lot of that happening because that usually is an uh, indication that somebody's going somewhere else based on that. Yeah. So they need help with pretty much the same thing, right? Reputation management, Google business profiles. This one's okay. There's a couple of strange things about it, but fine. Let's go to the website really quickly. Let me jump into the website. We are Barber's Company. Okay. We scroll down, got a gallery. I think it's a little bit simple, but it's not bad. When you go into the book now option, it takes you to booking with one person. Oh, no. Oh, it's a bit strange. So when I click book now, me to the bottom of that page. But hey, they've got 2 locations here, right? So the 2 locations that might need help. Overall, this is what you'd expect for booking. It's nice that they have the Facebook and Instagram of the different barbers. One thing that's weird about this website, they don't have their phone number. They don't have their contact information, above the fold. So if I'm looking at this website and I want to call or I want to reach out, I have to scroll to the bottom to find the email, to find the phone numbers. Bit of a weird choice. So it's a great practice to have this above the fold. Also, the spacing here on this bar doesn't make a lot of sense. It looks like there should be something here, but now I'm picking on design. Uh, you know, we could do that all day. So this is a business that also has opportunity. I could go and I could pick the number one here, unique cuts, and I could show you how they need help. You can see that these are not the worst of the worst, but they definitely have something to gain. If we look, right? So, one more time, that strategy I recommend when in bigger cities is localize your searches. So, if we're looking at Jackson Park is something, but what if we looked at Washington Park? Well, as we do that, we get a lot more localization towards Washington Park. And so we can now find a whole bunch of different barbers. You get the idea. When you have more than 20 options, I think it's really great to go in and uh, do these local searches. And like no websites, no Google business profiles. Like, this is a gold mine. Ruben, you taking notes? Assuming you're the one who suggested Milwaukee, because you're sitting on a lot of free money. Okay, it's not free. It's still going to take work, but really, this is incredible to me. This is exactly the type of market I would want to be in. And hey, you know, because you're doing digital marketing, anybody can really reach out. Now, Ruben, if you're really excited about this and you start reaching out, like you have the local advantage, right? But that's really cool. And so you can see how quickly we can find some of these leads. Uh-oh, it just went out. Okay. But so let me just pull up the one. So Barbershop Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm going to grab that one and we looked at Jackson Park. So Jackson Park. They scroll down, we can see uh I looked it up slightly differently. Um forget the name of that. Oh, it's called Barber's Company. Just straight up Barber's Company. We could grab. So the way that I searched it here, right? Barbershop with no space, and they're the number 2 option. I'll tell you what. Uh they're just not all that, you know? So let's see. Barbershop in Jackson Park. So here we are. We look it up, Jackson Park. We've got Barber's Company, Ken's, Humble. I'm just going to grab a couple of these so that on Friday's session, I can show you some snapshot reports I create on these businesses. I'll do the same thing. I will not look at the snapshot reports. I'll present it to you live. How can you take these businesses? Me, Brady, somebody who's never been here, never been to Milwaukee, and I don't know the scene or barbers here. And how can I create opportunities? So our CRM is now loaded with barbers out of Milwaukee, and we have, of course, our two different chiropractors. So I hope you can see how easy it is to go through and start adding leads. If you are a newer agency, this is what you need to be doing with your time. This is your job. It's going to be finding these businesses, reaching out to these businesses, and solving their problems. Every single one of these businesses that we looked at today, crazily, I think except for the one chiropractor, had multiple locations. Multi-location opportunities, they don't always come by super easily, but they are fantastic. You get one location, you can prove it, roll out to all, or if you impress them enough, roll your solution out to every single location. Every single business here needed Inbox Pro, Reputation Management Premium. Uh, I think some of them needed some Google Business Profile optimization. Some of them needed booking services, right? I mean, that can be included in the voice receptionist AI and the Inbox Pro solutions that we have. But overall, we're looking at a couple of solutions we can quickly identify. There may have been social media. We didn't look at that. Most of them probably need listings because they're not at the top. SEO, honestly, probably. These were some of the quick things that we could identify through this process. And so if I was to call these businesses, add them to the fodder, right, and reach out to them, if I did this with 20 businesses, I added 20 businesses, I'm quite confident that I could turn one of them into a paying client. It's that simple, right? But of course, you need to zoom your scope out a little bit beyond the place that you're living. Try going for your region. However, like in Milwaukee, we see that here there's so much opportunity. But if I add all of these different leads and actively work them, uh, really, it's inevitable that things will likely work out for me. So the difference between you, where you are right now, and where you're going to be is going to be the number of customers you have. We see that there is opportunity. We just found opportunity after opportunity. This session wrote itself, right? Like I didn't, I love doing this randomness part of the session because it proves to you that this is live, that I can find these opportunities like that. I didn't pick from the bottom of the list because that's easy. I chose things that were just a couple spots down to show you how I can find opportunities. Now, if we were to take the hour we're spending here and go and call, reach out to these businesses, right? And add them, get a sales cadence running on them. And we were to do that for a couple of days. You might land one of these and they're going to be paying you $300, $500 a month. Maybe more, $1,000, $2,000 a month, right? But let's just talk about like a simple package. Let's say they're paying you $200 a month or $400 a month, 750 a month, something like that. So once we've sold this solution, right? Now you're talking about multiple thousands of dollars per year that are in your pocket. And that is how simple it can be. So keep it simple, right? And you don't have to stick to just chiropractors or just barbershops, but it is great to just focus on that one vertical, one niche and go after them. You can see there's opportunity. How many of you are going to use a lead finder after this? I want to see a Y in the chat. And this time I'm watching extra careful for you, Ernie. Don't want to see no twos in there. All right. So Y. All right. Stefan, Jason, Paige, Alberta. Wonderful. Now, it's not the full story. Our snapshot reports are way more powerful, right? But I hope you can see exactly how far this simple but effective tool can take you. Check this out. I'm also going to grab the businesses that we had for today. And I've created an automation. I'm just going to go into the actions, start an automation, and let's find my snapshot all selected tool. So now all of these businesses, the 10 businesses we found, will have a snapshot report associated to them. So on Friday, we're going to look at these businesses and I'll show you how to pitch those snapshot reports. See a question that came in through Q&A. Do you have training on how to reach out for businesses? Well, we were trying to think of what special topic we could do for tomorrow. And Lily suggested that she might be able to do the outbound calling session. Now, we haven't finalized it. It's Juneteenth. We don't expect our American partners to come onto it because it is a stat holiday for them. So if you have time, you can come to that session. If not, right, we have the recording available to you. That's what we're thinking of doing, but we still need to finalize it. So tomorrow's session is a mystery. If you can, right? But we don't expect you to work on your stat holidays. For those of you not in America, it'll be a normal day for you. So, okay. So here we are. We've got the 10 different companies added. They're going to have snapshot reports. Now, here's the thing. I can't show you the snapshot reports in today's session because snapshot reports take time to fully bake. They take 24 hours for us to pull the 200 different microservices that create the data we find in the snapshot report. So this snapshot report is not finalized. You can see that it's still searching for a lot of these things, even though we have got a quick grade on the website. So that's why we need 24 hours to let the report sit before we review them. So that's why we're going to do it on Friday. Okay, everybody. Well, this is taking us toward the end of today's session. Before we go, now, this session has had quite a few different iterations. It's changed over time. So I want to make sure that you see a couple of bonus things available to you as well. So if you go to vendastabootcamp.com, hey, you're probably there right now. And click on the recordings and navigate down to the 101 prospecting methods. Well, you'll see that we really talked about using the Vendasta system to find those different leads for prospecting. But I also have a whole bunch of unique prospecting methods that I used to present, which I highly recommend checking out. They're broken down into just these little segments that'll take 20 minutes of your time. And if you want to deep dive into the CRM, like how should you manage these leads, check out this video I created on it. More bonus for you. And finally, I have a partner here who, when he would get mailer advertisements, he would actually send a video back showing them the holes they have in their marketing. So he'd take the inbound and show them why they still might not select them. It's absolutely brilliant. I asked him if we could use this as an example. He said yes. This is what we call video prospecting. We talk about it a little bit higher up here, but check this video out, steal it, use it. It's fantastic. We also have more things on this page, but it's really just a treasure trove of different things. So highly recommend at least everybody check out the radio prospecting strategy. I've been suggesting it to partners for years. And if you want quick wins in your city, do this. Do this one. It's worked very well. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to today's session. If you got value out of today's session, let me know. Actually, grade me, right? What'd you think of today's session? From 1 to 10, let me know in the chat. I hope you got lots of value. And I'm excited to continue this on Friday. Of course, we have a bonus session coming tomorrow. Ernie, giving me the 20. Standing ovation. I appreciate it. Awesome page. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you've got so many leads in your system, but hopefully this gives you a quick way to go and extend that. Berta says 10 plus, Stefan 10 plus, Jason 10 plus. Well, I'm going to take that as a home run, my friends. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful having you all today. And I will see you when I see you. That's going to be Friday. Until then, stay awesome. I'll be on tomorrow's session to answer your questions, or we change the plans a little bit. I might be running it too. So till then, stay awesome. Keep conquering local. I'll see you when I see you. See ya.